Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Los Angeles Lakers MyNBA series. Now, last episode we played against the Orlando Magic, and we were able to come out of Orlando with a W. And in this episode, we are prepping for the postseason / recapping the regular season. As we look here, we're in the playoffs as the number one seed. We had 58 wins, I believe. 58 and 24, one win better than the OKC Thunder. And look at just how stacked the West is. I mean, from 3 to 7, I mean, these guys are all like decided by one win. Pretty insane. But we are going to be matching up against the Minnesota Timberwolves, which is actually going to be really fun. They actually had a really good end to their season. As you can see, they just kept winning. And then they got themselves back into the picture. They got healthy, and they have an amazing squad. So this is going to be a very fun matchup. But we'll get into that next episode. So to recap this season, we should take a look at the awards. Season awards. Wait, no. I don't know where it is. Oh, regular season awards. Individual awards. You already know who won MVP. As a 21-year-old, I believe this is the youngest MVP in NBA history. I think Derrick Rose is 22 when he won his. 21 years old, averaging 26 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, and 10 assists with 2 steals, 1.2 blocks, almost 55% from the field, basically 100% from the free throw line, and 43.6% from deep. Incredible season for Vander Williamson. Cooper Flag, number 1 pick in the draft on the Thunder, wins Rookie of the Year. He had a really good year. I mean, 1 steal per game and 1 block per game is fantastic. Stephon Castle, 6th Man of the Year, was the 14th pick in last year's draft. And he's just been a real great defender for him and knocking down the 3-ball. Defensive Player of the Year is not Giannis. It is Victor Wembanyama. 3.3 blocks, 1.5 steals. He is a freak. He is amazing defensively. He's probably going to be the best defender of all time. Once it's all said and done. Denny Avdia, most improved player. Very interesting to see that. He has always been pretty solid, but I guess this year he just took a little bit more of a leap in the scoring and defensively, and he gets most improved. So nice piece for the Wizards to have, as they are just trying whatever they can to rebuild here. Now Vander Williamson also wins Clutch Player of the Year. I think that's like the leading fourth quarter scorer or the leading scorer in like the last 5 minutes of a 5-point game. That's how you define it as clutch time in the NBA. And then Darvin Ham, Coach of the Year, well deserved, and Johnny Murphy, Executive of the Year. So that is the individual awards. Let's get on to the all-team selections. Vander Williamson, of course, All-NBA First Team. Victor Wembanyama, Giannis, Luka, and Tyrese Halliburton, all on this All-NBA First Team. It is a pretty young team. Giannis is the oldest one here, and he's only 31 years old. He had another great season for the Bucks. Nikola Jokic, LaMelo Ball, Shea, Ja Morant, and Sabonis. Yet again, only one person above the age of 30, and he is only 31. It's Nikola Jokic. Anthony Edwards, All-NBA Third Team, led the league in scoring, I'm pretty sure. De'Aaron Fox, Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, and Joel Embiid make up the third team. All defensive first team, Vander Williamson again. Ben Simmons is 6th man on the Bucks. Just got traded from Phoenix. He's all defensive first team. Anthony Davis, all defensive first team. Evan Mobley, and of course the defensive player of the year, Victor Wembanyama. Giannis, all defensive second team. Alexander Sarr in his second year, averaging basically the same stuff he averaged last year. All defensive second team, Jaren Jackson, Anthony Edwards, and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander on this defensive second team. So a bunch of familiar names. And then all rookie first team, just solid second team. Solid as well. Let's look at the standings. We're the 1 seed, Thunder 2nd seed, Denver 3rd. And then these 4 teams are all tied at 48 and 34. And so, New Orleans will play the Sacramento Kings, Spurs will play the Nuggets, Rockets will play the Thunder, and the Timberwolves will play us, the Los Angeles Lakers. But this is very interesting to see. because there was 10 teams over 500 and they didn't even make the playoffs. That is very interesting. And I mean, really from 12 on, it's still pretty competitive. Just these three squads just weren't competitive at all. So that's cool to see in the West. And in the East, Milwaukee Bucks 56-26 had a really strong end to the season. I think they have the number one defense in the league, which makes a lot of sense. Charlotte Hornets, another great defensive team. Even though I feel like you would know them more for offense, but I mean, they got Jalen Suggs. LaMelo's a good defender. Brandon Miller's a good defender, and so is Mark Williams. This is a huge team. Jeez. But this is a second seed. This is actually really impressive for LaMelo Ball. The Pistons, the third 50-win team in the East and the fifth overall in the whole league. Third seed, Cleveland and Indiana will match up against each other. Indiana was like the one seed for most of the year, but they just kind of fell off towards the tail end, dealing with some injuries. Knicks, 46-36 with Kevin Durant. So the trade was actually pretty successful for them. They can make the playoffs, and they'll have to face the Pistons in the first round, which is very, very interesting. But this is a really good squad, really solid. Orlando Magic sneaking in the playoffs as well. They're the other team that received, big asset from the Phoenix Suns and Devin Booker. So they will play Charlotte in the first round, which is actually kind of interesting. I could low-key see either team winning. Philadelphia makes it as the 8th seed. I think they're playing. I forgot who they're playing. So they're 40-42. Raptors, Hawks, and then the East is just really not that good. Boston Celtics. It is very interesting to see what they might do this offseason. Because you have Kristaps Porzingis, Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White, and you're still not good. And Jason Tatum just signed here for a huge extension, I believe, because we were thinking about signing him this past offseason, but obviously just let our guys grow. So let's see what this Boston team does. Maybe they trade Jaylen Brown. Maybe they trade Kristaps Porzingis or Derek White. And Miami Heat, terrible season as well. Where do they go from here? Who knows? They just won an NBA championship, so it's a little disappointing. You knew the Bulls were going to be bad this year, but they had, some bright spots like Moses Moody and Kobe White. And then the Wizards, of course, just, man, this is it's going to be a long rebuild for them, like an absolutely long rebuild, to say the least. But that is how all these standings have gone down. Let's look at the league leaders in the NBA this season. Points per game, Anthony Edwards, of course. Second, Vander Williamson, Steph Curry, Tyrese Maxey, and Jalen Brunson make up the top 5. Rebounds per game, Victor Wembanyama, Giannis, Sabonis, Embiid, and Mark Williams. Assists, Tyrese Halliburton, Vander Williamson, Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander averaging 9 assists per game. Impressive. And LaMelo Ball averaging 9.1 assists per game. Steals, Vander Williamson leads there. Jimmy, Shea, Dante DiVincenzo, and Jalen Suggs. Blocks per game, Victor Wembanyama, Giannis, AD, Chet Holmgren, and Jaren Jackson Jr. Also, shout out Alexander Sarr. Best field goal percentage, incredible. Zion, 61% from the field. Best three-point percentage was Steph Curry at 44.9. Quentin Grimes second at 44.4. Vander Williamson fourth. You can tell, man, we got shooters on our squad. We got absolute shooters on our squad. Free throw percentage, obviously, Vander Williamson. Anthony Simons has become, wow, he's a really elite free throw shooter. Wow, didn't even peep that. Shea, Paul George, and Jamal Murray. And that's about it. Points allowed per game. Who allowed the most points per game? Tyrese Halliburton, Vander Williamson, Darius Garland. I mean, most of these guys are on all defensive teams, which is, I don't know. Cool stat. Let's see. Over this overview, anything crazy happen here? No, we're actually fully healthy. I think we're going to run like an 8-man rotation in the playoffs, which I don't mind. Don't mind at all. Maybe 9. Let's look at what the team did in terms of stats this year. Obviously, you get Vander Williamson up there, but Austin Reeves, another great season, improved everything in efficiency-wise, improved in assists per game. He was really good for us. I mean, his scoring went down by 4 points, but other guys stepped up. DeAndre Ayton had a really good year. I mean, his stats aren't really that great, but he still had an amazing year for us. Shot 40% from three for the second year in a row, so maybe he's a sniper. Bilal Coulibaly, nice little leap in his scoring. You can see it on the floor. His efficiency jumped up except for his free throw percentage, which is 57. Need that to improve. Taylor Hendricks jumped up a little bit. Scorings moved to a bench guy, but he's been amazing. Marvin Bagley had a solid year. Quentin Grimes, like I said, a great year. Jonathan Isaac had a really good year defensively. I think if he played more, he probably would have made all defensive team. All defensive team. Miles McBride shot 40% from three. He was just phenomenal for us. And Taurean Prince had a really good year as well. Shot 48.1% from three. Just didn't take enough attempts to qualify for a top spot there. And then Vincent Iwuchukwu. Solid year for him. He only played 9 games, but those are towards the end of the year, and I really like him as a backup center. And the rest of these guys not playing much. Babacar Miller, just gonna continue to let him develop under the wing. He's only 22 years old. But yeah, I think that is about it for this episode. We're gonna be playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. Damn, I can't speak. We're gonna be playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. So actually, Milwaukee's playing Orlando. I thought they were playing Philly. These are all the matchups, man. I don't see a single bad matchup in this postseason at all. So hopefully it is an exciting one. Let's click play game to see what happens to the other squads. Sacramento takes game 1. San Antonio, OKC, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Detroit, and Charlotte. So nice. We will get into this next episode. It'll be, I think we're going to do 2 games in 1 episode for the playoffs, just to give you, more. So see you guys next time. Peace.